somewhat. Let's see how it goes. We'll talk about the scenarios here and let's get it done. Bolt Bros, let's talk about it. Let's go. Man, guys, what a roller coaster of a season. I was just going to talk a little bit about before we get into what teams are at, where they're positioned at, kind of scenarios that could happen and everything. But man, I'll tell you what, this has been a roller coaster of a season. I've said it on a couple of our shows previously. Brandon Staley right now is um, giving a master class of how to be able to get this team to function with all these injuries and everything that has been happening with this team and to make a very competitive product still on field. And if you've seen these last two games, the Dolphins Titans games, we've given under, I think it's roughly, and I'm just going to throw this spitball off the top of my head, I think it's about 250 yards total offense to two teams. Dolphins being a very high powered offense team, by the way. We held them at like 212 yards or 219 total yards. Titans, I think they had about 270 ish. Now, once again, hey, fact check me if you want. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we've done a really, really good job these last couple of games without Derwin James, without Joey Bosa. Obviously, we haven't had him for most of the season, but he has done a masterful job of getting this team to beat two teams that had winning records. And that defense has been tremendous. The offense, they're still a little iffy, not pushing the offense that much farther than what we really think Herbert should be doing. But we're getting there. We're getting things in the motion. I think with Williams, Allen, we're starting to see those clutch catches, clutch throws in the meaningful time of the game. So, bottom line, guys, shout out to Brandon Staley. Let's go, Brandon Staley. We got this shirt available on our Zazzle. Check it out. We we will be changing up platforms, but hey, bottom line, let's go, Brandon Staley. Let's go. Let's go. Great job out there, Brandon. Appreciate it, my man. Thanks, coach. Keep it going, man. We got some work still to do. Nothing is clutched or clinched right now. Keep it going, guys. Let's get into just where the playoff picture looks like right now. I'll pull that up right now for you guys. There's a lot of moving pieces here, guys. It's a lot of moving pieces here. So just to look at us right here, obviously Bills clinched a playoff spot, have not clinched the division since that division is still being fought over. They are in regardless, either the one seed if they keep winning out, or they'll end up being in a wild card position. Chiefs, number 2 right now, same record as Bills, and sitting there where they've clinched the division. So they are in either in 1 to 4 position to have a home game for the playoffs. So in the hunt, we got the Bengals at 3, which this is going to kind of rotate in and out with the Ravens. And then the Titans 4, which that could be a very, very interesting thing for the AFC South. Very interesting, guys. So keep an eye on that one. Ravens at 5, Chargers at 6, since we own the tiebreaker over Miami Dolphins, who are 7. And then I'm just going to focus on these other teams with Patriots, Jets, and Jaguars. Why the Jaguars sitting at 6 and 8? Well, we see what's going on with the Titans. Only a game back from the Titans. Crazy situation that's going on with them. So let me talk about right now. We'll talk about the Chargers, their current situation. Actually, let's just talk about the situations of tie-breaking situations, being able to clinch this week, which we have a couple scenarios much easier than some of these other teams out there, which is wild to look at, to be able to clinch this week. Think about that, guys. Think about it. It would be at a situation on week 16 with essentially, if we win, we'll see where that goes. But we could basically have 2 games after that if we clinch this week, if all these scenarios drop for us by week 16 for a wild card position. So it would be no worse than 7, best case 5th position. So pretty cool. So like we said, Bills and Chiefs are already in one way or another. Basically, the Buffalo Bills could clinch the AFC East with just a win or tie for this week against the Bears, or a Miami loss or tie. So simple for them. Just keep winning and you're good to go. Bengals, I know. Well, the thing is, I'll say with Bills, they are waiting on also if they're going to, have home field advantage or what first week bye kind of scenario. So we'll see what happens with them, which I expect them fully to do that. Cincinnati Bengals clinches a playoff berth this week. Cincinnati win or tie, or Jets loss or tie. Simple. Just keep winning for them. Ravens are an interesting one. They have so they're ahead of us. Remember, guys, they're at 9-5. We're at 8-6. Look at all these scenarios that they have. They have 10 different scenarios here where they could clinch for a playoff berth. Baltimore win, Miami loss or tie, or New England loss or tie. Baltimore win, Miami loss or tie. I mean, there are so many scenarios there, guys. And we're even involved with a couple of them here with the Baltimore tie, New England loss, Miami loss, Chargers win. And then it goes into all these other scenarios here. Baltimore tie, New England loss, Jets tie, Los Angeles win as a situation. So there's a lot of like moving pieces with them. I feel like there's a lot of scenarios. They're in a position where they could definitely clinch a playoff berth with. And going back to this, guys, we talked about 10 wins. 10 wins is kind of where you need to be able to get to the playoffs. And it really seems to be building up to that point. And 10 wins, I'm saying to go to the 7th seed. 10 wins could be to the 5 seed, potentially. Ravens still don't really have that great of looking schedule ahead of them. And they don't have any situations there where if they lose, that they could get to the playoffs. I mean, they could only have ties to be able to get to the playoff with a couple of these teams winning or losing. So we'll see where it kind of pans out with them. I'm going to say the Ravens could falter quite a bit. This 5th seed can really be open even for us. So our scenario here, 8-6, we play Indy Monday Night Football. Going to be a fun one to watch, that one. Against Gus Bradley. You guys saw that debacle last week against the Colts, or the Colts had against the Vikings. I mean, that was bad. Very bad. Jeff Saturday coaching on Saturday got smoked. Not a good look. So Chargers 8-6. We play the Colts Monday night. 3 scenarios here. Los Angeles win. Las Vegas Raiders loss or tie. New England loss, or New York Jets loss. Or we win, Raiders lose, Patriots lose, Jets tie, Miami loss. That's one of 2. The third one is Chargers win, Raiders lose or tie, New England ties. Had to have this many ties in 1 week would be incredible to see. Jets loss, Miami loss. There's a few scenarios here, which, to be honest, just keep winning. I would love to be able to see these Chargers get to 11-6. That's all that matters to me. If we could find a win out here, because we have 3 very winnable games from this point. So really, if we could just constantly keep things going and keep winning, that's all that really matters here, in my opinion. Just keep winning and things will kind of fall in place. What's great about the win last week is that we actually did find a playoff, or basically a way to be able to take advantage of the playoff brackets at this point. And we had the opportunity to be able to get our team into a playoff scenario. I think we're about 93% chance that we're going to win the playoffs. If we win all the rest of our games, 100% chance. So just keep winning. That's all that matters. Like, I keep feeling like I want to say that's from Dora, Finding Dora, or Dory, or whatever her name is. Just keep swimming. Just keep winning. Santa Herbert's here to get us to the playoffs. Bottom line, guys. Brandon Staley, once again, let's go, Brandon Staley. Let's go. And let's keep coaching. Let's keep seeing this defense really grow. And it's been a phenomenal thing to watch. So let me just go quickly into our schedule right now, just to give you an idea of where we're sitting at and what we have in front of us. So let's go with our 3 games that we have. Obviously, we talked about the Colts Monday night. Very winnable game for us, guys. And then we got Rams at home, which might be a Sunday night football game. Might end up being flexed out, in my opinion, just because there's going to be some other interesting scenarios with other teams out there, not just for the AFC, but for the NFC. So We'll see it where it pans out there. And then the Chargers of Broncos in Denver to be able to close out the season. So, my opinion, win this game. Let's see what happens with the other teams here. Um, pretty awesome to be able to see. So we'll see where it all pans out here from here. So let's go into let's start with the Bengals just because they're sitting at the 3 spot at this point. So let's see where we're sitting there with the Bengals. Now, with the Bengals, there is some interesting situations there where the Bengals have a pretty tough schedule ahead of them. I mean, as you can see here, we got the Bengals, Patriots this weekend. Patriots need to find a way to win that game because they need to find a way to be able to stay in this thing. And with the Patriots, I mean, their schedule is not very easy and they need to find a way to keep things going. Them losing to the Raiders last week was probably their playoffs chances, in my opinion. That's what pretty much changed their season. How they lost that game was insane to be able to see that. If you guys haven't watched the way the Patriots lost that game to the Raiders, it was one of the wildest situations I've ever seen in my life. But I think that was their playoff chances. So Bengals are probably going to end up beating the Patriots. Then the Bengals play the Bills. Big game there for them. And then the Ravens. A very tough schedule. They are playing better than I expected. I honestly felt like the Bengals were going to have a struggle going into this. But the Bengals and the Ravens are going to be fighting over each other in that division. So that week 18 game could be the division, in my opinion. But we'll see where the Ravens sit. I do think that there's a situation where the Ravens potentially could start faltering for the rest of the season and possibly not even make the playoffs. I mean, that 5th seed is quite open at this point. So Ravens play the Falcons this weekend at home, Christmas Eve. By the way, Merry Christmas, guys. By the way, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Let's just get to the playoffs. That's all I need for Christmas. Just get to the playoffs. Let's go. So the Ravens play the Falcons this weekend, Steelers, and then they end the season with the Bengals. I'm just saying here, Falcons are a good team in some ways. They do have Desmond Ridder out there playing. He didn't play as well last week at all. But at the Ravens are having a hard time trying to get things going again with them. I feel their defense is there, but Lamar Jackson not being there seems to really shift that team all around. I think Tyler Huntley is a very good quarterback, but I don't know if he's really going to be able to get these guys to that next level. I mean, think of last year. There was kind of an idea where they ended up faltering quite a bit too at the end of the season. So we'll see what happens. I do really feel that 5th seed is quite open. If we do get to the 5th seed, that would be pretty big for us. We would play the 4th seed, which can be the Titans, potentially even the Jags, by the way, guys. So interesting things kind of going on there with that position. So that's where the Ravens are at. We'll see kind of where it pans out with them, but they have a lot of situations where they potentially could lock in a playoff seed. So once again, guys, that last 2 games, or I should say specifically that Dolphin game that we won last week, was massive for our playoff chances. Massive. And you can see why. We're starting to sit in that 5th seed. We have playoff clinching scenarios going into this week 16. So huge for us, guys. So let's jump over to the Dolphins here and then kind of give you a breakdown of what the Dolphins look like here. So the Dolphins, they have currently this weekend the the Packers. So Packers, we kind of expected a lot out of them this year. Really didn't seem to be faltering. They're still got Aaron Rodgers, who's still doing his thing and still doing okay for that team. I'm not saying he's at the same level he was, since he doesn't really have, Devontae Adams and such, but he is out there still trying to make things happen. So we'll see where the Dolphins are at on that. They are playing in Miami. Packers going from cold weather to warm weather. Sometimes that really affects them. But big thing for the Dolphins, they play the Patriots to basically start the new year on the 1st, then the Jets to end the season. So it's a tough schedule for them, but also at the same side, now looking back on week 5, week 6, these teams are starting to falter. The Patriots and Dolphins are still looking kind of shaky at this point, and they got a lot of tough schedule ahead of them. So I'm not sure where they're going to be at and where the 7th seed's going to be at. We'll see where it pans out for those guys. But Dolphins do have somewhat of a winnable game this weekend against the Packers. So once again, they don't have any playoff clinching scenarios at all. That seventh seed is very, very open at this point. So let's go to the Patriots and show you what they look like. So the Patriots, man, once again, guys, that loss that they had to the Raiders last week was crushing for them. It was crushing for them for their playoff hopes. So we'll see where it keeps going. But once again, they play the Bengals this weekend. Not easy. They play the Dolphins the weekend after, and then they play the Bills to end the season. Not an easy situation there at all. So, guys, they're not in by any means right now. They are in a tough situation with three teams right then and there. So we'll see where it pans out with them, but I don't expect them to beat the Bengals this weekend the way that that game ended for them last week. So now let's go to the Jets, and the Jets are kind of far back on this situation. They have found a way to be able to put themselves in a hole all around. So right now they play the Jags this weekend. If you guys have been paying attention to the Jags, Trevor Lawrence and that team is balling. Doug Peterson's really getting that team going right now. And so they play tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, against the Jets or Jets Jaguars. Going to be a big game. That is one of those games that is a part of our playoff scenario too. Jets need to lose. Patriots need to lose. I believe it was, let me go back to this. So actually, excuse me. It's a lot of different directions here. We win. Raiders lose, New England loses, and Jets lose pretty much. We're in. So that's a big game for us. We could see if these dominoes fall. Very losable games that they're going to have this week too, by the way. So Jets could easily lose and get destroyed by the Jags Thursday night. Jags are playing for the division, by the way, too. They are fighting for the division at this point. So they are playing meaningful football right now. So keep an eye on that one, guys. That's a big, big game for us. So let's move over to the Jaguars while we're talking about them. Actually, let me go to the Titans on this one, actually. Let's go to the Titans, and then we'll end it with the Jaguars here. So Titans, Texans. You know, the thing about it is the Texans are a bad team. Straight to the point, they're not a good team. But they do have some tight games. They've almost upset a couple teams in the last 2 weeks. I think it was the Chiefs, and I want to say the Cowboys. They've almost found ways to win them. So right now, they're just playing spoilers at this point, and they are playing tough football. They're only won one game and tied one game. So we'll see where it goes with this team. And with the Titans, the way they're playing, you're starting to hear that Ryan Tannehill is not going to start this game because of his ankle injury. You know, shout out to Tannehill trying to gut it out through the Charger game and everything like that. And it seems like he is going to be out this week. So we'll see where it goes with them. Titans now play the Cowboys after that Texans game, and then ending with Jaguars. Massive, massive game for them for the end of the year. Jags keep winning, and Titans find a way to lose one of these. They could be in the playoffs or out of the playoffs, a division winner or not a division winner. Very, very bad situation. It was bad for them to lose last week to the Chargers. Great for us. We'll take it all day. But big games coming up for the Titans, and it's very, very much so that they look like they're faltering quite a bit. So let's go to the Jags real quick on this. You know, once again, Jags are playing good football. They beat the Titans. They beat the Cowboys. Big, big wins. Once again, Cowboys are going to be playing the Titans too. That's a tie situation to where they will have that ability if they have a tie situation with the Titans based upon winning that game. That really helps them out to be able to get to the division winning. Now with 17 games now, it's a little bit more tough to have a tie situation, but there is a good chance that could happen in this division. So Jets, Thursday night, big game for us, for them. So they are going to bring their best A game on that one too. I think Zach Wilson will be playing for the Jets this week too. So good game to be able to watch. Texans, next game after that. Once again, Texans are playing spoilers. And then, like I said, Titans, Jaguars to end the season. It's wild to see where the Jaguars are at. They are getting hot at the right time. And I feel very much so we are getting hot at the right time too as a team. So just to recap, guys, going back to our playoff clinching scenarios here, we got a few of them here. As you can see, we have a couple situations here with teams that have very losable games in front of them. Raiders, and I didn't even talk about them because I feel like they're very much at a point where it's more of a situation of the amount of games left to the amount of teams in front of them. It just doesn't matter at this point. But what we need to happen, Steelers play the Raiders on Saturday evening, so Christmas Eve. They play the Steelers. Let's go Steelers. And they play in Pittsburgh too. So they're going to be flying out to Pittsburgh, cold weather situation out there. It's totally possible that they can lose that game. And just to give an idea, Saturday, Saturday, weather in, and let me just share this with you guys real quick. Sorry, I keep bouncing in and out of screens here, but I kind of look at it like this. You're going from a dome-based stadium, warm-based climate to basically Saturday being 13 degrees out there, guys. And that's going to be at night too, by the way. So it's going to be in the tens potentially. There potentially could even find a way that this system could kind of find its way into Saturday to be a cold weather situation. Wild situation for them. You don't want those late type games like that in the season because it could be very, very tough on your team. So very cold situation for them. So we'll see. Go Steelers. That's what we need this weekend. Go Steelers. Let's go. Patriots playing the Bengals. Let's go Bengals. Let's do that. Let's do that for a few different reasons, just to make it harder on the Ravens to be able to clinch a playoff position plus playoff or a division situation for them. So let's go Bengals. Let's go Steelers. And then for the Jets, let's go Jaguars. Hey, UCF Jaguar hit us up. He's another channel for the Jaguars. He hit us up to say, hey guys, go beat those Titans this weekend. We need some help. I said, we'll do that as long as you beat the Jets next week. Help us out. So we did our job. We need the Jaguars to do their job. So once again, guys, that's our thing. Go Jags, go Steelers, and let's go Bengals. We get those 3 games. If they end up losing those, Raiders lose those games, we handle our business on Monday night. We are in the playoffs. Worst case scenario for playoffs would be 7th seed. Best case scenario could be 5th seed because I think that the Ravens are going to be faltering quite a bit. We are currently sitting at the 6th. Ravens keep kind of finding a way to lose. They potentially could get themselves into a very hard situation to be able to clinch playoffs and really get things very murky for them. So bottom line, guys, the easiest way here is keep winning. Keep winning. We're at about a 93% chance to get to the playoffs at this point. Just keep winning. Just keep pushing forward and let the other people find a way to fault. Jets don't have that easy of a schedule from this point on. They still have to play the Seahawks and the Dolphins after the Jags game. The Patriots have obviously the Bengals this weekend, Dolphins, Bills. It's all meaningful football for all these teams right here, guys. All meaningful football. So bottom line, guys, it's exciting to be able to talk about playoff scenarios with us. It's exciting to talk about week 16 to be able to clinch a playoff spot. It is exciting to be able to see that. It will be exciting to be able to say Monday Night Football. We will be able to celebrate that we are in the playoffs. We're going to be hanging out here. All Bolt Bros will be at the party for the Monday night game out in Phoenix with the Bolt Pride 602 guys. So excited to be able to be with those guys and hang out with them to enjoy the game. Hopefully we will be able to celebrate that we are in the playoffs. So let's keep it going, guys. Bottom line, the way I look at it, we handle our business. We'll be in the playoffs, 100% chance. And we have 3 extremely winnable games. So let's keep it going, guys. It's exciting. I'm very, very excited. Week 16, we have the ability to potentially clinch a playoff spot. I like that we could get to this position to where we don't have to wait for something else to fall for us. We control our own destiny at this point. So let's keep it going. Santa Herb is going to bring us to the playoffs. Let's go. Let's go, Brandon Staley. Once again, guys, let's go, Brandon Staley. Appreciate it, guys. Let's keep it going, guys. Bolt Bros. Let's go.